Hello, my name is Jocelyn Garcia, and this is my competency mini lesson. I will be going over competency number 4. The objective is the teacher will implement developmentally appropriate research-based instructional strategies and assessments to promote students' phonological and phonemic awareness skills, aligned with each grade level expectations. The teacher will use the research and strategies to help guide the students and know how to teach all the students in the classroom in case there might be some accommodations. For example, as you can see, there could be bilingual students. Therefore, we have to think a little bit out of the box to find how to help them relate to the language they might be their first language, or how we can use different strategies and put the vowel valley up in the classroom, use manipulatives, or even use mirrors like we have done activities in Miss Meek's classroom and show the students how their mouth looks as they are moving their mouth to make sounds. Let's see what the competency 4 is about. It's about understanding concepts, principles, and best practices related to the development of phonological and phonemic awareness, and demonstrate knowledge of developmentally appropriate research and evidence-based assessments and instructional practices to promote all student development of grade-level phonological and phonemic awareness skills. And here's the question number 1. These questions are very important for us future teachers to practice before we take the STR test. We all must take the test and we have to pass it in order for us to become teachers. Therefore, let's practice one together, and I will read it with you. At the beginning of the school year, a first grade teacher conducts a brief screening assessment in which the teacher asks a small group of students to spell 4 CVC words and one word with a consonant blend. In addition to providing the teacher with information about student knowledge of letter-sound correspondence, this type of assessment would also provide information about student development in which of the following other areas related to emergent reading. So let's go back and see what we know about the question or what is going on. So we know that the teacher is asking the students to spell CVC words. So we know that a CVC word is a consonant vowel consonant. Therefore, we see that she is also going to gain information about the letter sound correspondence. Therefore, we should connect those ideas and see which one it might connect to one of the options we might have, which are vocabulary knowledge, phonological awareness, phonemic awareness, and listening comprehension. Now let's see. Let's think about it a little bit and see which answer it is. And the correct answer is phonemic awareness, which was C. And there's a big detailed paragraph that we can read and go in depth about why it was C. In other words, the teacher was asking the students to spell CVC words, and the word with blend requires them to segment words, which are phonemes, and it will match them to letters, which is a key skill in phonemic awareness. So let's learn more about phonemic awareness and phonological awareness. Now let's see what is phonological awareness. Phonological awareness is the ability to recognize and manipulate the sound structure of spoken language such as words, syllable, rhymes, and individual phonemes. It is a foundation skill for learning to read and spell. And remember, this is such an essential step for students to become better readers and writers. There are many concepts that fall under phonological awareness. Now that we know what it means, we can see in the image that a lot of things fall underneath it, including phonemic awareness. But we need to know, even though there might be connections, we need to know the difference and what phonemic awareness is as well. Well, let's see what phonological awareness also has. It has word awareness, which helps the students recognize that a sentence is made of separate words. Onset rhyme awareness, where students will be able to identify the initial sound, onset, and the rest of the syllable, which are rhymes. Syllable awareness, which is hearing. They can do a hearing and clapping, or using their arms to know how many syllables there are in one word. They also have phonemic awareness, what would be considered the most advanced step. So it's very essential that teachers take their time to make sure that they know what they're doing, and the students will have the ability to isolate, blend, and manipulate individual phonemes and words. But as you can see in the image, it also has addition, deleting words, and substitution. And now we're going to learn what is phonemic awareness, as we were talking about in the question that we did at the beginning. So now let's see, what is phonemic awareness? Phonemic awareness is the ability to hear, identify, and manipulate the individual sounds, phonemes, in spoken words without involving written letters. And there's the phone. This is something we can remember, that we listen, like when we use a phone, and is a very critical component of early reading instruction that involves the conscious awareness of and control of phonemes, enabling students to segment, blend, delete, and substitute sounds within spoken words. And there's a poster that you can see how phonological awareness is different from phonemic awareness, but they still go hand in hand. Now, what are some activities and how to implement the strategies? One of the most used ones are Alcuin boxes for segmenting and blending phoneme visually. This way the student can know what they're doing, say it, hear it, and visually see it as they're moving things around. Letter tiles and magnetic letters. For phoneme manipulation, once the students are ready to connect sounds to letters, they can see them and have manipulative so they can have better retention. Whiteboards and markers are very easy and fast to use and can help students practice their writing as well as connecting letters to sounds. Picture cards. It's great to have visuals to help the students sort word by beginning, middle, and end, also the sound. Rhyming letters for students to identify and generate writing words. Audio recordings like sound, poems, and read alouds can emphasize phonological patterns. Sound walls and anchor charts, like Vowel Valley, can help students form connections, and posters showing mouth formation images. For example, they can remember like when they see themselves in the mirror and how their mouth looks when they're saying a sound. And then later on they connect that sound to a letter, and how letters are in words and words form sentences. And now here's the second question. And this time, since you know more information about phonological and phonemic, you will do this one on your own. And make sure to think about the activities as well and how you will implement them in the class so you can form connections with this question. So go ahead and read it. Read carefully. Go back and think about what you know about the question, and then go see your answers to see how you can form connections. And here's the answer, which was A. And overall, this will help as teachers that we should understand from this competency that we will have to apply key concepts and principles of phonological and phonemic awareness by implementing instructed and evidence-based instructional strategies to support each student. These skills will help the developmental of foundation reading skills. Through the use of engaging multisensory activities, for example, the Alcuin boxes, syllable clapping sounds, blending, and dynamic manipulation materials, and the teacher will foster an inclusive learning environment that meets diverse students' needs. Regular use of formative assessment can guide instructions and ensure that all students, including English learners and those at risk for reading difficulties, can make progress through grade level benchmarks and by integrating research-based practices and using a variety of tools and materials. That teacher can promote critical early skills that lay the foundation of fluent reading and strong comprehension. This will help all the students become better readers and writers. Thank you.